Hello. Today for Tuesday's talk, I wanted to talk about energy. Energy. We hear a lot about that word, especially when we're getting involved with satsang and spiritual communities. We talk a lot about people with good energy or energy that doesn't feel quite right to us, or negative energy or chaotic energy. We refer a lot to that, and it's almost becoming kind of a buzzword, this notion of energy and how that works. So I wanted to kind of just take a minute today and talk a little bit about that and help you get a little understanding. Basically in the spiritual communities, we talk a lot about vibration, and that, high vibration, good vibration. You can walk into a room and you can sort of feel the vibration of a particular place, or the vibration, for example, in Brazil, you can feel this beautiful energetic vibration just being there. When I went to Brazil, literally got off the plane, and when I laid on the mattress in the room that I was staying in, I could feel the earth moving. I mean, it felt like I could literally feel things moving. I could feel this beautiful, peaceful, and calming vibration going on. And my sense was that the energy in this place that I was at when I went to see John of God was so beautiful energy. It was healing and powerful. And it's something you really have a hard time putting words to, because even words have energy. So the minute that you speak a word, there's a lot of research out there. Emoto did some research that if you had a whole bunch of, I think he took some containers of water and he put different words in front of those containers, all different types of words like love, beautiful, hateful, greed, shame. He put all kinds of words next to those different bottles of water. And what he did was he looked at the molecular structure of the water before placing those words there. And then he allowed people to come and walk around in that room and look at that water and read those words. And when those words were associated with that water, he then at the end took molecular pictures again and looked at how the molecules of the water had changed over the course of this research project. And it was amazing. They literally, the bottles of water that had the words like love, the molecules and the molecular structure that he could photograph in the water was absolutely beautiful and stunning and just unbelievable. And yet the water that had the words hate and greed looked horrible. I mean, the molecules themselves, the crystals within the molecules, just looked to be degraded and decomposing. And really fascinating research out there on the power of words and the energy or the vibration associated with those words. And that's why when I do some of my talks, I really mention the importance of really using your words very carefully, because whether or not you realize it, they have an impact and they have a power and they actually have an energy to them. So this notion of energy is really hard to get your hands wrapped around, because it's everywhere. It's in everything. And when you get really deep into the science, the physical sciences, and you really look at quantum mechanics and quantum theory, you find out that really down at the deep depths of everything is really nothing but vibration, nothing but energy. So if you take a microscope and you just keep going deeper and deeper and closer into any object, the farthest down that we can measure, there's nothing there other than vibration. So it's so powerful, and we're starting to really become more sensitive to that. Our consciousness of the planet is becoming a little more sensitive to some of these energies. So I talk about the moon and the full moon and how it's shifting the water. All of that has to do with energy. So it's such a powerful notion. So the whole idea is, if you become in touch with your inner guru, your inner truth, you start knowing and sensing the way that different energies make you feel. And as a result of that, you make conscious choices on whether or not you want to be around that energy, whether it's a person or a place or a food or even an idea. You start sensing inside of your body things that help you understand that energy and whether it's a good energy for you. So it's not so much that energy is by itself good or bad, but it's how it resonates with you at any given time. And is it a good thing for you in that moment? And so as you're doing your inward journey and you're learning how to meditate and how to connect with that inner guru, you start hearing those messages a little more clearly in your day-to-day life. And you're making better choices on what's good for you, what you should be around, and you're learning to separate yourself from energies that are not good for you or are not serving you. in any given time. So I just want to draw your attention to a great book. This is one of the best books I have ever read. This is Power versus Force by David Hawkins. And David Hawkins is no longer in this body, but his work is profound. He actually calibrated consciousness or the level of energy of certain ideas, of people. So you put them on a consciousness scale of 0 to 1,000. Fascinating, fascinating research on how and he used our inner guru, our inner knowledge, as the tool for that research. So I'd love to speak longer about that with you. And if it's something you're interested in, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to talk more on that. But I just want to draw your attention to this idea that everything calibrates at a certain level of energy or level of consciousness. And so things like on his scale, I believe it was like at the level 260 on a 1 to 1,000 scale. 260, and anything that calibrates above 260 is serving the planet. Anything that calibrates below 260 is actually drawing good energy away from the planet. And it's a logarithmic scale. So the more that we calibrate above that, the better we are serving the planet. And when we calibrate below that, we are really, really causing a draw on the energy of the planet. So he took certain concepts, and I just want to kind of read them to you, and he measured them. So for example, shame measures at the level of 20 on a scale of 0 to 1,000, the notion of shame. Guilt measures at 30. Jumping up, things like grief measures at 75. Desire at 125. Notice all these are pulling away. Even desire pulls away from the positive energy of the planet. Contentment, things like that, you're going to find really contribute to the energy. Anger is calibrated at 150. Pride at 175. And then when you get to 250, it's neutrality. And then moving above 250, at 350 is acceptance. Love calibrates at 500, and it's amazing how few people have been able to calibrate that high in this lifetime to truly feel unconditional love, to get to that level. And that's only 500 on a scale of 0 to 1,000. So things like peace calibrate up at 600, and enlightenment between 700 and 1,000. So we only need a few truly enlightened beings to keep this planet going and to keep it from spinning into the negative side. So everything that we're doing to raise our energy level is serving the planet. So all of this good work that we're doing in meditation and mindfulness, becoming more conscious, making good positive choices, choosing the thoughts that serve us and not the ones that don't, all of it is not just helping us in our lives, but it's actually serving the planet as a whole. So this whole notion of energy and vibration is really, really valuable and really important. So again, remember Power versus Force by David Hawkins. I highly recommend that if this draws you. And if you'd like to hear more about those different energy levels and what that research was all about, put some notes in the comment section, and I would be happy to do a part 2 on energy and consciousness, or 3 or 4. Gosh, I could speak for hours on it. It's just so fascinating. So I hope this is good stuff for you today. Good energy coming your way. Tuesday's talk is all about energy, and I am so excited to be able to share that with you. So if you have any questions, or I can help you in any way with that idea or with kind of figuring out how to apply that in your life, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have an amazing day.